Hello friends, it's Claudius and
Anna.
How are you today? Welcome to my small channel Elvis Lives. Yeah, the idea of this channel many years ago was to promote a little bit one of my books called Der King lebt and Aloha from Blue, Hawaii. And the main story is playing on Hawaii. So that was the reason why I took over to the story of Lahaina and Maui and the fires over there at the 10th or 12th of August, when I made my first small video about Hawaii and what happened there. First of all, thank you for all your nice comments and thumb ups and all the subscribers all over the world. Completely in Europe, many comments from Europe, from United States of America, from Hawaii, from Oahu on Hawaii, from Maui, from India, from New Zealand, Australia. Thank you so much, mahalo. Some of you asked, so what about Elvis? Speak a little bit about Elvis. Okay, when I was 13 years old, I already was a small Elvis fan. My favorite song was Mexico from the film Fun in Acapulco, and my favorite movies have been already Viva Las Vegas and Spin Out. And then Elvis died and I bought my very first record. Elvis sings hits from his movies, and the second one was a double album, and then it was Elvis Presley, his first album, and within a couple of months I had like 9 records or so. I didn't have a record player. I used the record player of my parents, but I had 9 Elvis records. And then on Christmas, I received my first Christmas record from my parents and my first small record player. And yeah, this was everything. This was how everything began with Elvis in 1986, exactly on the 22nd of December. I visited Graceland. So I've been there my first time. I've been there many times after it. And yeah, this book was published in 2017. And the channel was all about reading out of this book. I traveled to all the places the story happened in the book. So I was on Hawaii, and I was Grand Canyon and Las Vegas and all these places, Graceland. I was in Tupelo. So if you go to the channel and look a little bit deeper, a couple of years back, you'll see the videos when I'm standing there in Tupelo, Mississippi, on the house where Elvis was born. Unfortunately, I made the videos in German, but you see, I can improve myself. Now I do some videos for you in English, which is more international. Yeah, some of you asked about Elvis, and some of you said, say something about Elvis. Many of you know, of course, Elvis Presley. Some of you have no idea how much influence Elvis Presley had on the complete music industry. Placido Domingo, the great singer, opera singer, said he wished that he would have the voice of Elvis Presley. And Danny Kaye said, you can take singing lessons from Elvis Presley. We all know, or many of us know, that, for example, Elton John became a musician because his mother gave him an Elvis record, and Elton John said, I want to become a singer. Then we just had a nice story about the guy with a deep voice, Barry White. Barry White was in prison. He was stealing wheels from cars, and he was in prison. And then he heard, I think it was It's Now or Never. And Barry White said, I want to become a singer. So he said, Elvis changed my life. The same is with, what's his name? Robbie Williams. Robbie Williams is drinking an espresso before every concert, and he prays to Elvis. And if you go to the house of Eddie Murphy, Eddie Murphy says, my house is full of Elvis Presley pictures. John Lennon from the Beatles said, without Elvis there wouldn't have been the Beatles. The Beatles used to be a rock and roll band, Elvis fan band, with the hair of Elvis, and with leather jackets. And John Lennon said, before Elvis there was nothing. I could speak the whole evening about all the stars who became stars, who came to music because of Elvis. For example, the boss, Bruce Springsteen. He is a huge Elvis fan. He once was at Graceland and said, "Elvis, I want to see you," but Elvis wasn't home, so he couldn't get in. And yeah, now let's talk a little bit about Elvis. Maybe in the next videos you can comment if you want me to do that. I can speak about the history, how he became famous and how everything happened. But I'd like to speak about the real Elvis today. Elvis was a very talented person. He sold over 2 billion records worldwide. He did the greatest show on earth on the 14th January 1973 from Hawaii, Aloha from Hawaii. 1.5 million saw that show live via satellite. This is the biggest show on earth. No one ever did a bigger show, not even near. And it was the first satellite show. It was dedicated to the Cancer Society on Hawaii, on Oahu. And he made the most successful TV show with NBC in 1968, the NBC TV special show. And yeah, he was breaking all records with platinum, with gold, with multi-platinum records. And he made 31 movies. And he was the best earning actor ever, because he received $1 million for every film, plus 50% of the income of the turnover of the cinemas. So he was really making much money, a lot of money. He had a very professional manager. There are so many rumors about Colonel Tom Parker, rumors like he received 50% of Elvis' income, 80%, and blah, 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 blah. The fact is that without the manager, Elvis maybe never would have made it that far. And Elvis is and was a very loyal person. So he was loyal to Colonel Tom Parker till he left the building. And I accept that. I really accept that. Many people ask about Priscilla. My personal private opinion is Elvis should have married Anne Margaret and not Priscilla. That's my personal opinion. I think Anne Margaret would have been a bigger-hearted woman for him. But he fell in love with Priscilla, so of course we all accept his decision. Right, Anna? Yeah.
We never know who.
We never know. We never know.
Who fell in love.
Yeah. Well, for the plastic surgery industry, it was better that Priscilla was his wife. However, he divorced in October 1973 from Priscilla, and she changed her name back to her old name, Beaulieu. And she did her first leading role was in Dallas. You know Dallas? And there she called herself Priscilla Beaulieu Presley. And then later she called herself Priscilla Presley. Unfortunately, Lisa Marie died this year, the only daughter of Elvis. And I must say it clear. I have to say it clear. She advertised the vaccination. She said, go and vaccinate yourself. And she died very young, suddenly, unexpected, days after she celebrated the birthday of her father in Graceland. And my personal opinion is that the vaccination was not a good idea for her and for everyone else. I have to say that very clear. And I was here in Berlin at the Bundestag. I made a video about that 2 weeks ago, where the AfD, which is a conservative party, made a symposium, a Corona symposium, where about 40 professor and doctor from virus experts came, vaccination experts came, and they said it very clear. All the vaccinations are not clean. They're verunreinigt. Was heißt verunreinigt? They're contaminated with bacteria.
Perfect.
That's fact. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you. Well, my English still is a little bit rusty. The only occasion to speak English right now is to speak to you once in a week. So give me 5 days back in the United States or in Great Britain, and my English is a little bit better. So it's really true. I'm sorry to say that. Yeah, it's. I don't want to make a political video here. Anyway, I'm shadow banned because I spoke too much about the land grab on Maui, but I don't care. No, the vaccination is. That's proof. That's proof. And the EMA, which is the European organization, official organization, they already said, yeah, it was never, the vaccination was never done to prepare others not to get infected from others. So the whole vaccination thing is a hoax. It's a big money-making thing for the pharma industry and for some people who received money to promote the vaccination. However, Lisa Marie is dead. She died unexpected and suddenly. And my personal opinion is she could be alive still. She was the only daughter of Elvis, as I mentioned, and she kept the social engagements Elvis did in over 23 years. She also was very engaged for social, for homeless people, for single mothers with children. She really supported very much the community in Memphis and beyond the borders of Memphis, Tennessee. And her father, of course, is famous for spending all of his money for his friends, the family, for poor people, for sick people, for ill people, for handicapped people. Elvis was, actually, in my opinion, if Jesus comes every 100 years back to earth, in the last century, it was Elvis. And he showed us what a big heart can do and how a big heart can change the world. He never reduced his taxes from the money he spent for social engagements because he said this would speak against the meaning of against the Christian idea. So he made no tax cuts because he spent that money for social things, you know what I mean. And that once again proves that he did it because he wanted to do it, not to reduce taxes. Elvis spent millions and millions and millions for handicapped children, for sick people, for cancer societies, and he was a giver. So when he bought a car for himself, he had to buy cars for others to feel good. There is a video that says 100 Cadillacs or something, or 200 Cadillacs or something. I have that video here, the DVD. Yeah, they expect that he gave away over 200 Cadillacs to friends and totally strangers. Yeah, there's one story, he bought some cars for himself and his crew, the Memphis Mafia, his friends and bodyguards, and there was a black lady looking into the window, and Elvis would get out and said, "Hey, do you like that car?" And she said, "Yes, it's yours." And a guy from a radio station in Memphis, Tennessee heard that story, and he announced, "Hey, today Elvis once again gave away a nice Cadillac. Elvis, I could use a new car too." The phone rings minutes later, and Elvis said, "What color?" It's really true. It's a true story. And maybe I can tell you more stories in the next videos. I know many stories of Elvis, and you could read them if you would speak German in my book. However, it's not book advertisement today. So Elvis was a big entertainer, a big star, and no, he was not taking cocaine or heroin. He was against drugs, but he took a lot of uppers and downers and sleeping pills and pills to wake up, and his doctor said, you have arthritis, so they gave him cortisone in the last months, so like 6 months before he left the building, a lot of cortisone. And as you know, cortisone, what happens with cortisone, you gain weight in your face, hands and stomach. But if you watch Elvis, the last shows, you see that he is very thin, he's normal, perfect body, except face, hands and stomach. Look at his small ass. Yeah, that's the cortisone that gains weight, especially face, hands and stomach. So this cortisone was not good for him, and all the uppers and downers and many other medical problems he had. And I think that he has not the best medical advices. Maybe 2 months Ayurveda in India would have been good for him, but the good news is maybe he left the building and still walks around with us. I don't know. However, this was a small overview about Elvis Presley. If you want, I can speak a little bit more, tell you some more private stories from him. And yeah, he was a big Hawaii lover. He made 3 movies on Hawaii: Blue Hawaii, Paradise Hawaii Style, and Girls was also filmed on Hawaii. Many people do not know this. And he was the one who brought the money together for the Arizona Memorial on Pearl Harbor. So this memorial was built because Elvis made a show to fundraise money, and he gave $100,000 for that memorial, which was in the 1950s a lot of money. So thank you, Elvis, for this memorial in Pearl Harbor. And so he was many times on Hawaii, the last time officially in March 1977. He loved Hawaii as we all love Hawaii, and I am sure that Elvis sending a lot of good energy from wherever he is right now to Maui, to Lahaina, to the people of Maui, to the native Hawaiian people, and to people like Eric West who have big heart for Hawaii and the Hawaiian people. Right, Anna?
Yes, and have Elvis changed the life from Barry White, so we can change life from another people with our thoughts, with our action, with our love. Yes, we can do it every day.
That is so nice said. Elvis changed the life of Barry White, so we can change the life of others. Actually, it's true. So maybe sometimes it's just one word or one sentence or one hug, one phone call, one thing we do for someone else. We don't know, and we change the world for him, and he can change the world for the rest of us. Like Barry White. Yeah. Thank you so much.
There are small things.
Yeah.
With big power.
So, happy Advent.
Happy Advent.
First Advent.
Happy Christmas time and before Christmas time.
Christmas season, yeah.
Christmas season, yeah. And be lovely to each other.
Yeah, and let us keep...
That is what's count.
Praying for each other, for peace on earth, in Israel and Palestine, and Ukraine and Russia, and all the other countries, all the wars we don't hear about because it's no money to make there, except for the military industry. And let's pray for the people of Hawaii, Lahaina, Maui, and God bless you all.
Yeah, and we send big hug and big
hug and big kiss
for everyone.
Mahalo, hang loose.
Hang loose.